of one city and one man. Buffalo had been accepted in big sporting circles, and for Jim Brule, owner of the Buffalo Bills, this acceptance climaxed a long, vigorous fight for the athletic recognition of his community. The fans' keen interest in the Bills made history in the 1947 season by accounting for the record at home and across the country was the result of long hours of continuous training, practice, quarterback meetings, chalk talks, and preliminary workouts at the preseason conditioning site in Hamilton, Ontario. Head coach Red Dawson, First Lieutenant Clem Crow, and assistants Red Conkright, Chuck Jaskwich, and John Scafidi plan new plays and drill the Bills assiduously to offset the effects of constant scouting by rival organizations. Professional football is a grim enterprise involving plenty of hard work. The team must be in top-flight condition to meet and cope with the rigors of a 14-game season. National and international interest in the Bills was reflected in the many notables who attended the games. Pre-game ceremonies were dedicated to the celebration of days of local, national, and global importance. Helping to commemorate these occasions were Admiral Jonas Ingram, commissioner of the All-America Conference at the Yankee game. Admiral Oswald Colquhoun, Judge Advocate of the United States Navy, who officiated at the Navy Day exercises. Canada's Dominion Day was commemorated by Brigadier Dennis Whitaker and the Highlanders from Hamilton. A tribute was paid to General Pilsudski by presentation of a Polish national dance. And always between the halves, the crack Buffalo Bills band and majorettes provided us with scintillating entertainment. But hold on a minute, this is about football. And I want you to meet the man who enjoys the sport fully as much as all of you. James F. Brule, president of the Frontier Oil Refining Corporation and owner of the Buffalo Bills.
Hello, football fans. It is with great pleasure we bring you the condensed highlights of the Buffalo Bills' 1947 season, which has proved to the sports world that Buffalo and Western New York deserve a major league sport. At this time, I want to thank all you loyal fans, Red Dawson, his staff, and the entire football squad for making the past season a great success. Take it away, Jim Wells.
Not everyone so inclined was privileged to see the Bills in action during their successful season. Shut-ins, including hospital and convalescent patients, had to follow the fortunes of the club through splendid newspaper accounts and play-by-play broadcasts. Here's a view of your narrator at work, offering word pictures of the Bills' achievements via the Buffalo Evening News frequency modulation station, WBEN-FM. But now on with a pictorial review of the past season. Much that you'll see brought spontaneous cheers from the Bills' avid supporters. Some wrung only groans of despair, but all combined to make 1947 the banner football year in Buffalo history. The season opened on the highest possible note when a brilliant victory was achieved at the expense of the New York Yankees, defending champions of the Eastern Division. But there were some anxious moments, including these at the outset. On the first play from scrimmage, the Yankees' great Spec Sanders fakes off to Eddie Prokop, then throws a pass to that worthy in the left flat. Prokop dangles 49 yards to the Bills' 22 before he's hauled down. On the very next play, Sanders gives to Prokop, who cuts back over his own left tackle and drives down to the Buffalo 3-yard line. Now watch Prokop again. This time he pounds straight over the middle for a Yankee touchdown. 71 yards in just 3 plays, and the outlook for Buffalo was dim. But the Bills wasted little time striking back. After conducting a sustained march to the Yankees' 21, George Radaman fakes neatly to his right halfback, then pitches out to little Chester Mutrin, who twists and swivel hips 14 yards to the Yankees' 7-yard line. The full season was to prove Mutrin one of the most elusive inside runners in professional history. The quick opener, one of the most devastating maneuvers off the T formation, was Chet's stock in trade. Here he goes for 6 yards to the Yankee 1. But the Yankees were not defending Eastern champions by accident. They stiffened to keep their goal line inviolate. Ratterman sends George Cook on a crossover trap play, but Cook is halted inches short of the goal line. The Bills were not to be denied, however, and to Buffalo's callow rookie field general was to fall the honor of hanging up the first touchdown of the season. Ratterman's instrument was the quarterback sneak. Many times through the campaign, capable coach Red Dawson had occasion to tear his hair, and here's one of them. Cook is the flanker, the split left end is Al Baldwin. Now watch the right end, Al Coppage. Ratterman fades, connects with Coppage, who is hit by Prokop, but clearly rolls over the goal line. The touchdown is not allowed. On the next play, however, Ratterman sends Cook diving through the right side to score. The Bills lead in the ball game and go on to achieve their major victory of the season. The Bills drew first blood in the Rocket game with one of the more spectacular plays of the full season. There goes lanky Ray Ramsey in motion. Hornschmeyer fades to throw from midfield. He heaves a long one, and Al Baldwin is up to make a brilliant interception. Now watch Felto Pruitt's block on the 40-yard line. Shaken loose, Baldwin steps off 73 yards before he barely steps out of bounds on the Chicago 2. On the next play, Vic Kulbitsky bucks over the middle for 6 points. Chicago received but failed to make yardage. Now here's Hornschmeyer's punt from the Rockets' 38. It's taken by Mutrin on the Buffalo 6 and returned 20 twisting yards to the Bills' 26. The Bills strike like chained lightning. Ratterman pitches out to Mutrin, and Chester comes through with an electrifying gallop of 48 yards. He loses his footing on the Chicago 35, stumbles, falls forward to the 26, and then fumbles. Chicago recovers. But the Rockets repay the compliment. Bill Daly bobbles at the same point, and the Bills take over again. Vic Kulbitsky on the fullback slant play carries gingerly outside right tackle to the Rocket 30. Ratterman immediately loosens the Chicago secondary with a spot pass to Dolly King, which is good for 10 yards. Continuing the same drive, the Bills consume 5 more as Kulbitsky bucks straight up the middle to the 14. This trap play was Red Dawson's pride and joy. Here's Mutrin enacting it for a 5-yard gain. First and goal on the 9. The Rockets toe in as the Bills threaten, but Mutrin manages to knife through on the quick opener to the 5-yard line. Quickly spotting the tight defense, Ratterman pitches a sharp spot to King, who is all alone in the end zone. The Rockets were not shut out. They tried this play twice, and the second time it worked. Ted Scalise takes off in motion. Sam Vacanti throws to Scalise in the right flat. Scalise hits Elroy Hirsch with a flip lateral, and Crazy Legs scampers 25 yards to pay dirt. Now the Bills again. The Rockets are held for downs, and Scalise punts. Mutrin returns to the Buffalo 28, and another scoring march is conceived. Without giving the Rockets a chance to set, Ratterman takes to the air immediately. He fades, pitches to Baldwin, who gathers it in on the 40 and is finally run out of bounds at the Chicago 39. With the poise of a seasoned vet, Ratterman fakes, then hands off to Kulbitsky, who powers his way for 15 yards to the 25-yard line employing the fullback slant maneuver. Climaxing the march, which ate up 72 yards, Mutrin darts through the center to score. Dolly King assists with a neat block on the left halfback at the 5-yard line. The San Francisco struggle here will always be remembered as a heartbreaker. No one realized it at the moment, but perhaps the pending disaster was forecast right here. Chet Mutrin reels off a dazzling run from scrimmage, moving from his own 13 to the 49ers' 35. Pausing to pick up blockers just beyond midfield, he's hit, fumbles, and the visitors recover. The Frisco's drive quickly to the Bills' 20, where Joe Vitrano tries a field goal. It's no good, wide to the left. The Bills return the compliment, only with teeth in it. Mutrin inaugurates a touchdown advance with a 20-yard gallop right up the center. Buffalo gets 9 more as the arm tosses to the hammer in the left flat. It's 2nd and 1 now on the 46. Versatility in fullbacks is a requisite of the T formation. Here, Ratterman throws to Kulbitsky in the right flat, and Vic rambles like a scatback to the 49er 28. Hey, somebody wants to play piggyback. Striking sharply in the opposite direction, Ratterman sends Julie Reikovich on a sweep lateral for 15 yards to the 13. Watch that big fellow drive. Here's the Rose Bowl hero again. This time he belies his 200-odd pounds with a ballet routine up the middle for a touchdown. 83 yards in 5 plays and 6 points the reward. The Bills roll on. Watch the fake to Reikovich and how completely the opposition is fooled. George still has it. He throws deep to Al Baldwin, who takes on the 25 and outrun for the score. Here's the second half kickoff. The interference forms and the ball's taken by Mutrin on the 14. Watch the block at midfield. Now another one on the Frisco 40. Dolly King then acts as a one-man convoy the rest of the way, and the score becomes 27-7. Comes now the deluge. If this hadn't happened, well, Jess Freitas now on 4th down with 8 to go. He fades back and throws right over the middle to Alan Beals in the end zone. Dippy Evans simply failed to cover properly. It's Evans who takes the next kickoff. He's hit and he fumbles on the Bills' 27. The 49ers recover and move quickly to another score. The next day, Evans moved to Chicago. Heartened by 2 gift touchdowns, the 49ers roll to victory. Albert hands off to Strzelkowski, who goes 5 yards on a counter. Here's the same play with Strzelkowski taking the optional hole outside the Buffalo right tackle for a first down. Now Stanford's immortal Frankie Albert displays the maneuver that helped make him an All-American. The Bills' right end is sucked out of position, and Albert bootlegs it for the end zone. The Colts made as if to chase the Bills right out of the stadium early in this one. Here Albie Reese punts, and it's taken by All-American Racehorse Davis on the Baltimore 32. A change of pace gets him safely around both Buffalo ends. And then he's off downfield, directing his interference as he goes until he's knocked down by Baldwin on the Bills' 31. One-time Bill Bud Schwenk takes an aerial course immediately. Here's a strike thrown to Davis. Good for a first down on the 20. Billy Hillenbrand on a split buck play goes for 3 yards to the 17. Schwenk tries another spot to Davis. But Baldwin covers neatly to break it up. Frank Sinkwich on a delayed buck is able to go a mere 2 yards as Buffalo's inside linemen tow in and hold. Held for down, Schwenk calls on automatic Augie Leo to salvage something from the drive. Leo obliges with a field goal from the 21. Baltimore leads 3-0. In possession again, Baltimore marches to the Bills' 11. Now watch the upsy-downsy. An illegal formation which draws the opposing lineman offside. Schwenk drifts into the right flat, finds no receivers, then cuts in for the score. Alex Wisbicki takes and returns the ensuing kickoff to the Buffalo 30, and the Bills are off to the races. Moving overland the entire distance, Buffalo consumes 70 yards in a sustained drive. Here's Kulbitsky picking up 13 on a pitch-out play. All-America Steve Juswick gets a great block from Kulbitsky at the line of scrimmage, and then scampers 32 yards down the south sideline to the Baltimore 25. This play cost us Juswick services for the rest of the season. Mutrin sweeps right this time and picks up 4 yards to the 21. Tomasetti takes a pitch out, cuts inside a missed block, and pounds down to the 8-yard line. From here on, it gets a little tough. Mutrin on a handoff from Ratterman is able to pick up just 3. George Cook starts off in motion, and Tomasetti gets a yard trying to stumble over his upended teammates. Cook in motion again as Mutrin takes the handoff and plows through to the 1. Now here's one of the disputed plays of the game. Mutrin starts right, cuts in, and is hit at the goal line. The officials rule he scored. The Colts beat bloody murder. Here's the start of the drive that put the Bills in front to stay. Leo's flat boot is taken by Baldwin and returned to the 36. Ratterman pitches out to Mutrin, who almost gets away. The Colts' big left tackle, George Perpich, just gets a hunk of his jersey and hauls him down. Ratterman decides to go upstairs. He connects with a spot pass to Dolly King and a first down on the Colt 48. George Cook carries left on a pitch-out play for 9 yards to the 39. Here's a pass in the right flat to Lou Tomasetti. Watch his drive as he powers to the 30-yard line. Comes now the play of the day. Ratterman fades to midfield. He throws a long one. Baldwin makes a brilliant catch amid 3 defenders and falls in for a touchdown. Your attention is directed now to Baltimore's overshifted defense. Ratterman selects a play to exploit the flaw. He lobs to Baldwin on the other side of the line. Cozell misses a block on John Vardian, or Al could have gone all the way. Instead, he's run out on the 8-yard line and winds up with a twisted knee. Ratterman now sends Reikovich in motion. then hands off to Mutrin, who pops outside right tackle and pounds down into pay dirt. On the Dodger 46. And Kulbitsky on a delayed buck pounds through for 9 yards to the 37. Ratterman sends Reikovich in motion, then hands off to Kulbitsky again, and Vic uses the slant maneuver for 3 yards. Buffalo had this play all year, but apparently didn't realize its potentialities until the Chicago game. Ratterman pitches to Dolly King. King laterals off to Kulbitsky, who then romps 29 yards to score. Lou Tomasetti drove the final nail in the Dodgers' coffin that day. The popular fullback intercepts a Hornschmeyer pass in full stride and races 45 yards for a touchdown. His momentum is so great, he almost runs right out of the stadium. Lou Saban kicks off for Cleveland to start the second half. Mutrin grabs it and returns to the Bills' 20. Buffalo will now go 80 yards and wind up with nothing but bruises. Mutrin drifts off in motion. Ratterman pitches to Tomasetti, but Lou is upended at the line of scrimmage. Here's a quick pitch to Mutrin, who fights for 9 yards to the 29. This one almost went the distance. Ratterman passes to Coppage as Al cuts into the right flat. Otto Graham slips over and slows him down at the Buffalo 40. Then Motley latches on with those big paws and flips him a lick. That guy belongs in a cage. From the Cleveland 38, Mutrin keeps local hopes alive by knifing through on a trap play for 8 yards. After Ratterman fakes to Mutrin, Reikovich takes a pitch out, outruns John Yoniker, and moves down to the 22. Reikovich peels off. Ratterman hands to Mutrin, who gets 2 more through the center. Cleveland's left guard is offside. Ratterman takes and tries to run. The Browns, spotting an opportunity offered not too often, really work on the Cincinnati cutie. We almost had an intercity incident right there. Red Dawson sends in the Angel to lessen the tension. The Bills trap the Browns' left tackle, and Mutrin picks up 5 yards to the 8. Had he cut left, he'd have found a hole for a touchdown. Mutrin is the flanking decoy, and Tomasetti slants for 2 yards to the 6. Mutrin murdered the Browns inside at Cleveland, so Ratterman tries the handoff again. Chet gets a bare 2 yards through that concrete wall. Now a pitch out to Reikovich, who tries to cut in, but is knocked down on the 3.